How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Axe and Arrow up in this piece in the form of their Sour to the People. Yeah, this is their Tropic Thunder Imperial Sour. It's an ale with mango, guava, and passion fruit. Yeah. Coming in 7.5% alcohol by volume. This is canned who knows when. And it comes courtesy of my boy Mike. A little social distancing handoff, Mike. A little one of these kind of fruited sours. We'll see what's what with this sucker. It looks like it's going to be sweet and tart. So, hopefully, it be tasty. Label-wise, so I'm staring at this can. I dig it, by the way. Quite a bit. I dig the art design. But there's something about it. I'm like, why is this super familiar? Why is this super familiar? Go on your internet browser right now. Type in Hyperspace Studios / Guy Aitchison. I worked in the tattoo industry for 18 years. I didn't tattoo. I did like body modification, stuff like that. But Guy Aitchison was one of my favorite tattoo artists of all time. He does this kind of very purple, orange, contrasting color kind of thing with this biomechanical kind of organic biomechanical stuff going on. And that's exactly what this reminds me of Guy Aitchison tattoo, or his artwork in general. So yeah, I dig that quite a bit. Let's see. What does that look like? That looks like a big old hazy. I can almost smell the tartness from here. No, it just looks like a big hazy with not much of a head on it. That's your kind of sour portion of the show. Kind of killing that head off, but I mean, it looks super thick and turbid. Orange juice. Let's get a nose. Yeah, I mean, you get passion fruit. Passion fruit by far and away is always the leader in the clubhouse whenever it's added to a beer. But you get the soft tropical fruits. I believe you're getting probably a little bit from hops, a little bit of that tartness kind of accentuates that, and then with those mangoes kind of thrown in there, that kind of adds a little bit more to guava. Guava was kind of like a little cousin of kind of passion fruit for me. But yeah, it smells tart. There's a little bit of sulfur funkiness. It smells like there's got a big sweet tart kind of component going back and forth. This isn't one of those like unfermented fruit explosion cans, I don't think. I think it's going to be more tart than what's the word I'm looking for? Jamba Juicy, but I feel like it's going to be pretty aggressive. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sour and tart. So it's tart, but it has this kind of little cheek pulling thing going on. You do get a nice combination of that mango, that passion fruit, and the way it kind of comes off is that it doesn't get nearly as tart as I thought it was going to be based off of the nose, but enough to where they're almost equal partners, which is actually pretty fun. With that kind of guava kind of floating in between, because for me, it's a little bit best of both shows. That's kind of guava comes off for me. Is that a little bit kind of more sweet tropical fruit, but there is that tartness you typically get from passion fruit. There's that grainy component to it. Not as far as texture, but as far as taste. It's kind of weeded, oated, kind of not cereal grain, but pre-cooked oatmeal level kind of cereal grains. That's what I mean by cereal grain, not like kids' sweetened cereal grains that I sometimes get in like hazies and stuff like that. And that tartness and that sourness, that little bit of acidity is dropping off with each sip. That's to be kind of expected when you have these beers. Each sip it gets a little bit more aggressive, a little less of a challenge beer. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, listen, this isn't my favorite style of beer to begin with. I haven't taken my heartburn pills for a couple days. So it's kind of treating me a little bit weird in that sect. But in a grand scheme of things, not a bad beer. You know, you got the little bit of sulfur addition on the nose. It's a little bit there kind of in the taste. The fruit is there, but it's not overly impactful. It's not overly sweet. I like that about it. It's just there's something missing from it for me to kind of go ultra gaga over the beer. Yeah. Just comes off less impactful than I thought, especially for 7.4% Imperial style of like a Tropic intense kind of sour. Not negative by any sense of the imagination, sans that little bit of overt sulfuriness. I want a little something. I dare say I want a little bit more sweetness, but it's not that I want more sweetness. I want a little bit more sweetness along with a little bit more of everything. I want a little bit more chutzpah, a little bit more aggressiveness from the beer itself. Not that I don't want, softer beers, but you're talking these kind of beers, 7.5% sour, kind of Thunder, Imperial Sour, this the kind of thing. It just, you're expecting this kind of, for lack of a better term, violence when it comes to the beer, and it just lacks a little bit of kind of aggression. I kind of wanted here. That's what I was looking for. And I just kind of missed that. But other than that sulfur thing, I can get down with it. I'd love to try this beer, Burps, at the brewery, fresh, to see what's what. There's no date on the can, so I don't know how old it is, but it is what it is. And again, not being my favorite style, I'm not going to sit here and say I love it, but I'm not turning it away either, man. It's kind of a ho-hum review. Should have brought a little bit more of my own Tropic Thunder to this motherfucker. Anyway, let's talk about it. It's one of the better sour, fruited sours that I've had as of late. Not really. It's not. It's on the outside looking in. It's not really my favorite of the bunch, obviously, the way I'm talking about it. At the same time, it's not a negative beer. It just kind of lacks that, like I said, that kind of intensity, that chutzpah I wanted. Value and availability, no idea. Mike, let me know what's what and leave you with, if you like what, will you like this beer? If you like your fruited sours to be not overly sweet, and you like them to be a bit kind of muted, but also have a decent ABV level to it. Again, like, this is a beer I want to try fresh at the brewery to kind of get a real kind of grasp on how they do these. But it is what it is. First two beers from Axe and Arrow. This one, not my favorite in the world, but again, not my favorite style of beer, so you want to keep that in mind. But the other one I had, the hazy they did, I enjoyed quite a bit. So definitely a fun little brewery. Gonna have to go check these guys out, being that they're New Jersey residents. Anyway, there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully, guys enjoyed the review down there. If you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully, you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully, enjoying a little bit of a Jersey-born fruited sour right now. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.